Welcome to Simple Paradise Life.
One of the first things that I did when I got my house about 10 years ago was to plant a garden. I started with a small garden. If you don't have a space to do a garden in the ground, you can also do a container garden, and you can get a lot of vegetables out of container gardens.
My second year of gardening, I grew my own seedlings, or some of them, but my garden got infested with snakes. So I had to destroy that garden and start with pots. The third year, I chose the spot where I wanted my garden, but it wasn't prepped. So I again did a container gardening and then prepared the garden for the next year.
Second thing is to get chickens. I know not everybody can have chickens, but if you live where you can have chickens, don't be afraid. Chickens are very easy to maintain, very cheap. You just have to offer them shelter, water, and food, and they're gonna be just fine.
I got my first 6 chickens off Craigslist. They were already 6 months old when I bought them, and that made it so much easier to start. Along the years, I learned a lot, and then I decided to raise my own flock from chicks.
The third thing that you can do to have a urban homestead is learn to preserve your food. I have had so much fun learning to preserve. I have learned to preserve eggs. I have learned to preserve meat. I have learned to preserve almost in every way. And I'm always learning new techniques. And I started just preserving a little bit of tomatoes that will last me like half of the year. And as I grew more and more and more, I used to can and freeze. And then my freezer was getting smaller. No, it's smaller, but my freezing space was getting smaller. So I started canning and canning. Now I can almost a year and a half worth of tomatoes. So I started pickling jalapenos and pickling some vegetables. So another thing that I'm so excited because it makes my life so easier when cooking is canning meat. I can my ground beef with a little bit of pepper and salt, and I can use that ground beef for sloppy joes, for pasta sauce, for tacos, for burritos, for soups, for all kinds of stuff. It is so convenient. It's so easy. By preserving my own meat and vegetables, cook meals really fast. Another thing to do for you to have a urban homestead is learn to manage your food. For example, I always ration our food, like not ration it, but
I try to cook only the food that we're gonna eat and save whatever we don't. That way, the food that we grow or buy doesn't go to waste.
The fifth, I think it is to be frugal. You can do a lot, even if you cannot grow your own meat, which I can't. I try to buy cheap pieces of meat and I learn to cook them in different ways. I have a link, I'll link it over here somewhere.
Part of being frugal is cooking from scratch, making your own uh, jam, your own yogurt, bread, anything that you can make yourself instead of buying it at the store. That's a good start.
The seventh or sixth, number six or number seven, I lost my count, is to buy in bulks. Always have a few months of food supply in your house. If you have at least 3 or 4 months of worth of food in your house, if something happens, you are prepared.
And you can start with these steps that I just mentioned by growing your own food, preserving, taking advantage of sales, freezing, making your own bread or jam. Having a food storage is not hard at all. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You just need to be resourceful. And yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was useful or at least entertaining for you. See you next time. Bye.